Hey, good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Jessica Blum joining you here. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I am not wearing green, but in case anyone tries to pinch me, I do have some green for when I'm not on air, because if you don't know, I would disappear in front of the green screen on St. Patrick's Day. But we are in for a wee bit of wind this St. Patrick's Day, and a lot warmer from Sunday, warming up to the lower 80s eventually. Southwest winds could be gusting around 30 to 35 miles per hour into this afternoon across southeast Nebraska. But a lot of warm weather, going to challenge records of old. The old record from today for Lincoln being 84 degrees from the 1800s. That is an old record to challenge, and we're going to do that today. But let's talk about the middle of this week. You may have already heard some buzz about this. So here's the latest for what I'm thinking. Of course, a warm day today, but then we'll start to see this system try to develop some isolated thunderstorms first Tuesday night, late Tuesday night, could be even into the early morning hours of Wednesday before snow starts to switch over in eastern Nebraska around the morning commute into the late afternoon hours. And there's going to be a lot of wind with this system as well. It'll be blowing around, and visibility will be very poor for any travel throughout Wednesday beyond the morning commute through the afternoon, well through the afternoon and into the evening hours. Blizzard conditions will be possible as we're talking about wind gusts around 50 to 60 miles per hour. So this is kind of a generalized timeline to walk you through the next few days. This is March 18th through the 19th, 2025 that we're mainly talking about. But let's talk about one of the latest versions of Stormcast. Let's look at the weather models and what they're saying. This is one of the shorter term models that'll give us a little bit more detail. And this is starting Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock. A little precipitation out in the panhandle of the state, clear skies in eastern Nebraska, but then you'll see an isolated storm or two popping up here. This model has it just after midnight toward Grand Island and Columbus, just past the Platte River. And this is where we may be seeing an isolated hail threat, maybe an instance or two of hail up to an inch in diameter. But then you see all the snow behind that around O'Neill, through central Nebraska toward North Platte, and this area of snow is all moving east Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. So here's by 7 in the morning. Still a little bit of rain and a little bit of a mix out ahead of this area of snow across southeast Nebraska. So some spotty precipitation, a little bit of a wintry mix. Then you see the changeover to some relatively heavy rates of snow for the morning commute for some of those as soon as about 7 a.m. out toward Grand Island and Columbus, seeing those darker blues. That area, darker blue, moves into Lincoln closer to 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, and this is when we could see snowfall rates picking up to an inch, if not an inch, and maybe a little bit more per hour in those snowfall rates. Still going pretty good in the afternoon. This is 2 o'clock in that area across eastern Nebraska. And then moving out by Wednesday evening. This is 8 o'clock, and still a little bit lingering in Richardson County, but moving out. And again, a lot of wind coming with this. So with the storm potential, there is a marginal risk over southeast Nebraska. This area of green, Lincoln and Omaha, Beatrice, over toward Columbus, and about Aurora included in that marginal level 1 out of 5 risk, meaning a storm or two in this area, maybe pulsing up with up to quarter-size hail, maybe a gust or two up to 60 miles an hour late Tuesday night. And then already this broad area of eastern and central Nebraska under a winter storm watch as of this morning. This will be in effect for Tuesday night through Wednesday evening, as we're expecting snow and blizzard conditions will be possible, namely for those 50 to 60 mile per hour winds that you see I have mentioned here over this area. So once this updates from the National Weather Service and we either see, winter weather advisors, winter storm warnings, blizzard warnings, whatever this gets updated to, be sure to like and subscribe. I'm getting going with this YouTube page, and I'll be trying to post updates throughout this week as we get to this event. You'll see updates from me in the morning, and then some updates from Rusty as well in the evening hours. But here's a look at the snow potential. You'll see those darker blues and purples just northwest of Lincoln, really, through northeast Nebraska, back toward Grand Island, Holdridge, Alma area in south central Nebraska. And this is one of the short-term models, latest look. But there are some short-term models that we have yet to see through the scope of this event. So we're holding off on snow forecast just yet for getting some of those numbers, but it's really the impacts out of this system and the wind yet again. Not a lot of us probably want to hear that, but a lot of wind coming with this as well, so it's going to be near blizzard conditions. It doesn't really matter how much snow when you're talking about whiteout conditions and treacherous travel really throughout this. So this is Tuesday evening, kind of looking at that same time frame that we looked at with Stormcast Tuesday evening through the day on Wednesday for winds now. You'll see those higher winds in central and namely western Nebraska out in the Panhandle Tuesday evening. Now into Wednesday morning, I have it stopped as the morning commute's starting to pick up. This is 8 a.m. Winds around 50 to 55 to maybe 60 miles per hour for much of eastern and central Nebraska. That'll be the case into noon. This is into 4. So several hours Wednesday that we're looking at high wind gusts around 50 to 55 to maybe 60 miles per hour. And then the winds will start to come down in the evening and especially toward the early morning hours of Thursday. But areas of blowing snow could really be a problem. Here's a look at the latest 10-day forecast for as of this Monday, St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. We're looking at late storms, isolated storms Tuesday night, and then into a messy Wednesday. I know March Madness is getting going for the sports, but we've already seen a lot of madness in terms of the weather this March. Spring starts Thursday. We will be warmer and then hopefully quieting down by the end of this week and early next week as we head into the end of March.